Hello, this is Tina Stitches. Welcome to my channel. This is a Flosstube channel on YouTube, which is basically YouTube videos about cross stitch and other associated crafts. This is my 102 episode. Today is Friday, December 17th. It is evening. It is 5:30. I decided to get this filmed as soon as I could because I don't know when I'm going to have another chance. I was going to do it last Saturday, but we did go to our staff party, so that kind of took up filming time. So I am here today to film my 2022 finishes, which I thought I was prepared for, but I'm not prepared for because there are a couple of finishes that are in my craft room, which is currently occupied by a sleeping person because he works the night shift. If he ends up waking up before I'm finished, maybe I will be able to get those. If not, I will try to insert pictures. But you know how it's been with my video editing capabilities lately, so hopefully we can work something out. So those are the ones that I finished earliest in the year, and they got put into a certain box, which at that time was not in a room occupied. So that's why I can't get at them right now. The rest of these are out here where I currently have all of my current whips, etc., because it's my space now. So I am not at all ready for Christmas. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, all that stuff. I have one thing wrapped, and that's because my sister wrapped it. I had the present delivered to work and she took it home from there. So that's where that's at. Decorating. Stockings are hanging up there because I have very limited space, and that's my tree because I have very limited space. The actual Christmas tree that we have, we don't go and chop down a tree. Number one, it's cold outside. Number two, they're really hard to find a really decent one. And we don't have a tree farm around here. And number three, it is, in our opinion, much more efficient to buy an artificial tree and have it last 10, 20, 30 years than it is to go and chop down a live tree just to throw it out a month later. But that's just my opinion, so we'll leave it at that. But yeah, this is my tree for now. It is a small birch LED tree that I have my ornaments that have been made in exchanges, and right now they're mostly tilted to face out, and we're looking at it from the side, so you can't really get the full impact of it. But maybe I'll get a video of it later, or take a picture and insert at the end, or I'll insert it here if we can. So in this video, I am just going to be showing you my finishes, and in another video, which I'm going to film tonight because what the heck, I am going to do my stockings. And I'm also going to show you a small clip that I did of a stocking that I made for Leah, the aviatrix stitcher. She stitched it, I finished it for her son. That will be in the other video, the stockings. My whip update is not going to happen this time. If I find time before the end of the year, you'll get a whip update then, but I really haven't been stitching. I've been stitching on 3 main projects, and 2 of those might be finished by the end of the year. So, stay tuned. So, the projects that I can't show you because they're locked away are Peacock Sampler by Victoria Sampler and Alice by Bothy Threads. Those I finished in January, and they're not framed or anything. They're in the bin of shame, aka shame it's not framed bin. But that's how it goes. I know I'm not the only one that has one. The next one in the list of finishes is this one here, which is Sunflower Fairy. This is by Nora Corbett, and it was in a magazine. I cannot tell you which one it is right now. And I finished this in February, and I found a frame for it in about September, I believe, and that's where that one is. I did change the color of the wings because they were an aqua kind of blue, and they didn't, I just wasn't feeling them, and I really love the rose gold effect, so I went with that. Let me see if I can get in good. This is called for Baldani threads, but I don't have any, and I made a conversion to Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Arts, and I found the little piece of paper that I have the conversion on, and I left it over there on the yellow dresser this now lives on for the time being. So if you want to know what the conversion is, I do have it. I can see the piece of paper right now, so that's a good thing. The next finish that I have is my Bumblebee Fob by Sweetheart Tree, and that's one side, and there's the other. I don't know if it's really coming through. Let's try that. This was what I worked on during my lunch breaks, for the most part, and it was finished in July. There was a finish before this, and that was With My Needle by Just Nan, which again, been a shame. So now we come to big finishes, and these are the ones that I started in Mania. Now I don't have the year written down, but I remember starting them in Mania. This one and its sister pattern. This one is embroidery scissors, and this one I finished in August. This is by Filigram, and it was stitched with the called for Dinky Dyes thread, which I had gotten kitted up from European Cross Stitch. I don't know if it's still available. And it's stitched on Dried Petals by Fabric Flare, 28 count Lugana. And there's so many specialty stitches. The one that I had the most difficulty with, I think, would have to be the bullion stitch. Oh, and Gidget's right at my feet right now, in case you didn't hear her. Hopefully that'll be as loud as she gets. So the bullion stitch is this right here, and I have to do it in another project currently, and I need to look up the YouTube video again because just need to do it a lot more regularly to stay on top of doing it beautifully. So there's that. This next one, which I finished after that, is one that I had started a long time ago, and I got to a certain point and put it away because it was finished except for the lettering, which I wanted to change what was there to something a little more special to me. And this is because this project was gifted to me from a group of stitchers that I met online. And we have a closed group, and we've been communicating, well, since, as far as I can tell, 1998. And this was a pattern that was available at a needlework, Celebrations of Needlework. No. At Celebrations of Needlework 2005, a few of them were able to go, and they bought a pattern and some of the specialty threads for me to do. And I started it immediately, and I got quite a bit of it done. Put it away, and then a couple years ago picked it up again, did some more, put it away, and then decided I really can't hold on to this in the bin of shame any longer. Pulled it out and finished it. This is Stoney Creek Commemorative Sampler 2005. I could be wrong about the year, but I'm pretty sure it is 05. And down here it said Stitching Festival. I wasn't there, so that didn't mean anything to me. But Stitching Buddies, That's us. Actually, it's X Stitch Buddies. And this is supposed to have a charm, a heart charm in both of the corners, but I put my initials there instead. More specialty stitches. There is one row of stitching left to do on the bottom, but it's one that I couldn't get. So technically it's not finished, but I'm not going to worry about that one row of cast on stitches. I've already sent the pattern on to another buddy, and she's going to use it for a wedding sampler for her daughter, who was just a little girl back when we got together. I tend to keep my projects stored rolled up to save potential creasing from happening. Now, don't know the exact date, but I knew it is in October because this is a Halloween pattern, and I just had to get it finished because it had been languishing with, well, really just one problem in my head, and I just had to get over it and finish it. I even had all the beading done. I just didn't have the moon finished. This is Trick or Treat Fairy by Nora Corbett. This is stitched on 32 count vintage country mocha, I think. I think so. That doesn't sound right. Vintage country. Maybe it is mocha. And I did do some changes because it's me. I can't remember what the Krynet color was for the webs, but I changed it to silver. I'm pretty sure it was Petite Treasure Braid. And I did 2 tones of greens for the vines. I think that's about all that I changed. And the moon. The outline for the moon was done in a brown originally in the pattern. It's brown and it does a step instead of a nice smooth line, and I wanted to change that to a smooth line, and that's all that stopped it from being completely finished. And I couldn't get it to be completely round. It ended up being oval, but I put it away and decided to bring it out and fix it, and then I looked at it when I brought it out and thought, nothing wrong with it, just go with it. So that's where it's at. So I'm calling this one finished. I just need to find a frame. I can't remember exactly when these were started, and I do have it written down somewhere. Sorry. So this is the companion piece to Embroidery Scissors by Filigram, and I had bought this pattern first and happened upon the thread pack at European Cross Stitch and had made the connection, Filigram, sewing scissors, embroidery scissors, bought a big enough piece of the fabric to do both of them, and I used the same color thread for both of them, even though this one called for a different pink. And this is Sewing Scissors by Filigram on 28 count, dried petal by the fabric is dried petal by Fabric Flare. The threads are silks by Dinky Dyes. And the one thing that had stopped me from finishing this when I originally started it was because when I was working on this dress here, it disappears into the fabric. But I kind of like that effect after I brought it out and looked at it, and I was like, you know what, it's perfectly fine. And these were called to be straight stitches, and I decided to do a padded satin stitch to give it a fuller effect. I didn't like the starkness that the one strand originally had. So there's that. This one was finished in October, and so was another one. Just gotta reach over here. Watch out, did you? Drop my pencil. And this one is Counted Canvas by Catherine Coleman, and it was in A magazine. I can't name it right now. And I did a conversion to darker pinks instead of the barely there pinks. And here's where it is. I have a frame. I have the frame taken apart, ready to put this in, but I don't have a mounting board to put this on, to put it in there, except I have a mounting board. This is one of those acid-free mounting boards, but I was just watching Globetrotting Stitcher, and she just finished a counted canvas piece. She fully finished it, and was talking about how you would lace it instead of pinning it. So I do need to do some research before I frame this. But there it is. This had lots of specialty stitches. This is on a mono canvas, stitched with Karen Water Lilies, pearl cotton, silk ribbon, DMC floss, Threadworks floss, and lots and lots of beads. I believe it was the beads that slowed me down. I even made a mistake in one of those corners, but I'm not going to tell you which one. So that is the last stitching finish. And This is something that I had finished a while ago, and I needed to fully finish it. And I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I finished, but I went by my book. So this is Letters from Graham by Jeanette Douglas, and I finished it. I fully finished it into a project. It's a project bag in the sense that this is the pattern that I use for my personal project bags, and I turned it into a bag to hold, well, my letters from Graham. Also has her books. That she wrote, and other memorabilia. So that's my fully finished Letters from Graham. Stitched on, this was stitched on, I believe it was 36 count. Something. I'm pretty sure it was the called for fabric, and it was the called for threads. And I was going to stitch it with 2 threads, but I like the effect of the 1 thread. I did change out one of the colors because it disappeared, if I remember right. It was too similar to the fabric. I could be wrong about what fabric I picked, but I know I switched out the lettering color. So that's all my finishes for 2022. 3 of them I can't show you because they're upstairs. So that's that. I'm gonna end this video now. Wish you a Merry Christmas, and put this stuff away and get the stockings down and do another video which will be uploaded shortly after this one. So if you enjoyed the video, hit like, share, subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram at TinaStitches74, and yeah, happy holidays. Be kind to each other, take care of each other. It's really hard for some people. I really feel for you. And especially right now, we're going through another COVID related quarantining, all of that, testing and vaccines and everything. Get vaccinated. That's my 2 words. So I will see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, so I'm back. I am filming this as a separate part of my video because I'm not going to share this until she gets this back. But Leah, the aviatrix stitcher, had sent me her stocking that she had made. She stitched this for her son. This is Dimensions kit. I'm not quite sure of the name of the pattern. I think it's Wildlife Friends. go check out her pattern or her channel. You'll see it in progress. But here's the finished product. So I want to say I stitched this, but I didn't stitch this. I assembled this. I sewed it together. I made the stocking for Leah, and I will be sending it back. She gave me free rein to do whatever I chose. She gave me some supplies. One of the things that I thought was funny was that the inside fabric is a Joann's fabric, and it's designed in Hudson, Ohio. I live in Hudson, Ontario. But anyways, so here's her stocking, and I will be shipping this home this week. And she sent these to use for the trim, and she sent trim. Like, I had a decision. I could do whatever I wanted to, and I decided not to use these. I might go ahead and make a tassel out of these two, but we'll see. There it is, all done and ready to go home. Hopefully it gets there in time for Christmas so that Otto can enjoy his homemade stocking.